On September 26, 2025, Kenya's political opposition staged two different shows in Nairobi, one at the UNGA racecourse under Jubilee, the other at PLP headquarters under Karua. At the same time, Raila Odinga was in Kisii, testing ODM's strength, while President William Ruto wrapped up his UNGA engagements in New York. By nightfall, one thing was clear: opposition unity had cracked wide open, and the path to 2027 now looks more uncertain than ever. At UNGA racecourse, Uhuru Kenyatta resurfaced after years of political silence. He declared Jubilee's return as an independent force, vowing to field candidates in 2027 and hinting at a fresh start.
Hakuna sababu ya nyinyi kama wana Jubilee kuchagua mtu kutoka kila kona yeyote ya Kenya. Haja ni nyinyi mjue ya kwamba huyo mmechagua ni mtu ambaye atajitolea kutendea Wakenya wote pahali popote walipo kwa haki, bila kupora na bila kutenga mtu yeyote.
But the real headlines was Fred Matiang'i standing shoulder to shoulder with Uhuru Kenyatta, effectively confirming his shift from UPA to Jubilee. For many, this looked like Jubilee's plan B. Matiang'i as a 2027 flag bearer, Uhuru spoke of renewal, youth empowerment, and ending bitterness. Matiang'i carefully positioned himself as a reformist alternative, insisting he was not Uhuru's puppet. The symbolism was powerful. Jubilee was not dead. It had just been waiting.
In the last general election, I endeavored to pass this message. Unfortunately, it fell on deaf ears and was lost in the noise of insults, character assassinations, myths and stories of dynasties and hustlers, and so on. Today, many of the gains we had in the past have been eroded. Linda Mama and others replaced by new, untried, untested schemes.
Across town, Karua hosted the PLP conference, joined by Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, and Eugene Wamalwa. Their speeches were sharp. Kalonzo rejected ODM's invite outright, calling it a celebration of compromise. Gachagua lashed out at Matiang'i, branding his Jubilee move Uhuru's revenge. Wamalwa rallied the Western vote against corruption and state overreach. The atmosphere was defiant, but the math was sobering. Without Jubilee, this so-called united front looked thinner. The resolutions talked of unity and a single opposition candidate by 2026, but the reality was clear. Disunity was already backed in.
We as the DCP party will work very closely. We will make sure that once the decision is made on who will be the united opposition's flag bearer, sisi tutakuwa hapo.
Meanwhile, Raila Odinga was in Kisii for ODM's 20-year anniversary pre-rally. Flanked by Simba Arati, Raila sought to reassure supporters that the ODM-UDA MOU was about reforms, not re-election. He promised the deal expires in 2027 and ODM will chart its own path. Yet, with Gusii increasingly gravitating towards Matiang'i and ODM MPs causing up to Ruto, the contradictions were evident.
Mtu yoyote ambaye ni mwizi hahitajiki hapa ndani. Mtu wote ambaye ni mwizi asikae hapa ndani.
Edwin Sifuna projected strength, but on the ground, ODM looks less like a movement in ascension and more like one stuck between legacy and loyalty. While the opposition squabbled, Ruto was in New York selling Kenya's vision to the world. He pushed for Africa's permanent seat at the UN Security Council, criticized Haiti's underfunded mission, and championed trade deals.
You cannot claim to be the United Nations while disregarding the voice of 54 nations. It is not possible. Africa is no longer willing to wait on the margins of global governance while decisions about peace, security, and development are made without our understanding, without our perspectives, and without our voice.
But even his gold stage had its domestic shadows. A viral clip of his team marching Jugu Karanga during his speech trended online, ridiculing the delegation. Still, in the bigger picture, Ruto emerged as one leader projecting stability while the opposition unraveled. So where does this leave Kenya? 3 scenarios stand out. 1. Ruto cruises to 2027 victory, aided by a fragmented opposition. 2. Matiang'i, armed with Jubilee's machinery and Uhuru's networks, forces a runoff but struggles to unite everyone. 3. Gachagua or Kalonzo mount regional campaigns, but without national traction. They split the vote further.
We are sure, Professor Kindiki, Deputy President, that our second term is a foregone conclusion. Not only because of the popularity of the party and the strength of the party, but largely because of the programs we have delivered that are demonstrable in all these murals that you see in this organization.
Raila, he remains an elder statesman, but his 2027 role is murky. What unites all these scenarios is one constant: unless the opposition converges on one candidate by early 2026, Ruto remains the front runner by default.
And while we wait for these experiments to work, Kenyans suffer and our progress is retarded. As we continue to dwell in rhetoric rather than in progress, we repeat the mistakes of the past. Indeed, today, some of the truths we spoke of yesterday have become the reality check of today, while some of the myths and falsehoods have become the nightmare that many are living.
September 26th was a turning point, not because of what was said, but because of what was exposed. The dream of united opposition is slipping away. Kenya's politics is once again a game of personal empires, shifting alliances and regional calculations. And for Ruto, that fractured landscape is the gift that keeps on giving. Newsroom, Maisha TV, Reader carrying Chebet.